We are myth busting this morning with go-to grandma Kathy Buckworth about the differences between retirement homes and long-term care homes, because I think a lot of people use them interchangeably, but there's a big difference.
There's a big difference. So we'll start with long-term care homes. Long-term care homes are basically for people who require 24/7 medical assistance. So they're really more of like a hospital setting. There's private, there's public, there's for profit, there's not for profit. There's a whole bunch of different range of long-term care homes, but that is specifically who they're set up for, pardon me. And I think the reason there's just some discrepancy in what people determine what it is because often they're in the same location. So you can go right from a retirement village, and then when you need the care, you can move down the hall, so to speak. It would be in a different wing or whatever, down the hall to a long-term care home. A retirement home or a retirement village is really for independent adults, seniors, who some of them might not have any medical assistance, but it's there if you need it. You might pay extra for that. There's always like a menu-driven sort of how much assistance do you need? Do you want a full kitchen? Do you want to eat all your meals in the dining room?
Do you want to do your own laundry?
Do you want to do your own laundry?
Cleaning?
Housekeeping is always pretty much always included in that, but you're right, other things you can pay extra for. There might be even a meal plan, just like you had in university or something.
Yeah.
I've seen some beautiful apartment living style, just down to then a little suite, so it really varies. And each retirement village that you look at will have different options available to you.
Right. Now, long-term care homes, if you're getting medical attention all the time, is that covered by OHIP, or do you have to pay for that?
It's publicly funded. A lot of it, a portion of it, it never would cover your straight. There's always a basic plan. People could go to ontario.ca or canada.ca for more details on this, but there's always like a basic government subsidy that's going to happen. There's also a tax credit that can be included, and tax credits can actually apply also to retirement villages if you're getting medical care, and that's something I don't think that people know as well. So there's a range of options available, and again, if you're not for profit, private, etc. So the best thing is to do your research, but again, the basic difference between long-term care, or you might hear people call it a nursing home as well.
Yes.
That would be that same thing.
Yes.
Retirement village, completely separate, and I've had the opportunity to visit Schlegel Villages in particular. It's beautiful. The apartments are, can I move in? Like seriously, they've got beautiful kitchenware, kitchen setups, bedrooms, walk-in closets, great meals, etc., and community. And that's what a lot of this is about. I think when people think about moving to a retirement home, they don't consider the fact that they get such great community activities. My parents live in one. They're busy every minute of every day.
And sometimes people are reluctant to move into one, thinking like, oh, I'm not going to make friends. And it's wonderful how it just kind of happens naturally.
It does happen. My dad has, 3 bridge ladies that he plays with in his retirement. My mom doesn't like bridge. Perfect. So she's off doing some arts and crafts or whatever. Like you find your own community just like anywhere. And what I love about some of the retirement villages as well, like a Schlegel, is they really try to incorporate the larger community as well. So you live in Mississauga or Hamilton or wherever. You're living in those communities. You're not separated. You're not separated from your family, your community. There's no isolation.
You're going out to buy groceries with them?
Yeah, absolutely. And field trips. Like I love the little field trips. My parents have Tipsy Tuesday, which I kind of love. Like so they get a little glass of wine. I know. So I should go on Tuesday. So I think there's a really misconception about what retirement living can be like versus really medical care, which is what you get in long-term care homes.
And you host a podcast called The Green Bench, which is a great elder wisdom.
It is. So it's elder wisdom stories from the Green Bench, and it started at a Schlegel Village where people used to literally sit on a green bench and share their history and their stories. And when the pandemic hit, they moved it to podcast format, which has proven to be so popular. I think we have over 40,000 downloads or something crazy. And what we do is we interview one resident at a time and really get their story. We interviewed someone about MAID, medical assisted dying. We interviewed a World War II fighter pilot, Diane Dupuis, who's the founder of Famous People Players. We're doing a special actually coming up on memory care. Memory care can live inside, obviously, long-term care homes. It's for people dealing with dementia, Alzheimer's, etc. And so we're doing a whole sort of special episode on what memory care is all about.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really cool.
We've run out of time, but there's so much more to talk about. So we'll direct people to your podcasts and all your socials as well at chch.com/morninglive.
Thanks.